if I only had 20 minutes a day, that's all I had, how would I do a deal? Well, if I'm you, I'm bird dogging, right? I find people who already have contracts, I copy and paste those over to people like me, and I wait for the response. That's it. That's your whole job. What people do is they get shiny object syndrome because they're like, well, 20 minutes a day is all I need to get a deal. Yep, they'll do it for 20 minutes, 2 days in a row. They get negative response from the buyer, like, oh, it's too high, it's not a good area, pass, 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 right? One personality style is gonna go, oh, okay, you know what? I got vacation coming up. I got PTO coming up. I'll get back to bird dogging when I'm back from my PTO. Do they get back into it? No, it turns into a thing, right? Okay, so that's one path that happens. Another path that happens is they can't handle, they feel like they're doing something wrong because they got told no 3 times in a row. No, you were on the right path. That's what happens. That's what you need to do. And then the third thing that happens is people go, this is too easy. I'm gonna go do 5 other things. And they're so fragmented everywhere. It's like, let me be the videographer, the editor, the sound producer, the thumbnail graphic designer, and I'll be the copywriter of all the copy on. It's like, that's what people do. Shiny object syndrome. It's so simple. It's 99% mindset, 1% work. Your brain will want you to think it's harder than it is, or it should be harder than it is. Why is this so easy? This doesn't make any sense. Why would that person need me, and why does that provide value? Bird dogging is not something I just made up. That has been in the industry for a long time. It's just slept on. Just nobody talks about it. Newbies aren't going on YouTube going, I just bird dogged a deal. Let me talk to you how I bird dog a deal. Most of the time, by the time people have the confidence to be on social media, they've already done 1,000 deals. They ain't talking about, hey, let me tell you about this one time I did a bird dog deal and I made $3,500. It's more like, hey, look at me, I just bought a 160 unit apartment complex and I can climb on the roof because I'm cool. So you skip all the cool little things along the way. Every single, Grant Cardone, right? Yeah. How did Grant Cardone do his first deal? What was it? Single family. Every mother on this planet started in single family. They lying to you if they said otherwise. They're lying. The number one thing you want to focus on is you want to look at frequency of transactions. Like how many more transactions are happening in single family than are happening in multifamily? It's not even close. It's 1,000 times more. When I was full-time wholesale and full-time doing stuff, it's like sometimes I get 7, 8 checks in a week. And I'm like, they're sitting in the back of my truck for 3 weeks. I'm like, I couldn't give a shit, because guess what happened? Next week I had 7 or 8 checks coming in. That's single family. That's not multifamily. That's not RV parks. That's not self-storage. That's not land development. Are the checks bigger? Yes. Like Linda Hamilton in Owners Club, she just got a check for $400,000. You're not getting that on single family, right? Like single family is not going to give you, unless you're doing like an LA flip, or some big old flip. Like Jerry Norton, one of my best friends, is doing a big luxury build in Puerto Rico. He's into it for $2 million. He's selling it for $7 million. It's a flip, okay? But not everybody's flipping $7 million houses. In multifamily, I can't even imagine. I don't know the answer, but I bet you that there's less than 20 multifamily properties that trade every month. So you go from 15,000 to 20. Let's say I'm a doctor and I've got plenty of money, plenty of resources, plenty of everything. Do I need to go into single family, or could I skip single family and go into multifamily? I got plenty of money. I would tell you to avoid single family. You don't need the money. Single family is really good for transactions and getting money coming in and like being busy on the thing, right? You're not a doctor making $1.5 million a year. It would actually be a bad idea for them to spend the money on or spend the time and energy on single family, because single family is meant for you to go through single family to get to multifamily. So I would tell a lot of doctors, a lot of attorneys, like I have a buddy of mine, he's an orthodontist. And he's like, I worked at my orthodontist practice 4 days a week. He was one of my very early mentors in multifamily. He was an orthodontist and knew more about multifamily than any multifamily mentor I had. In fact, I'm texting a guy right now that charges people $100,000 for multifamily education. And I put $2 million into one of his deals of my own cash. I'm like, oh, cool, let me pump $2 million into a deal. Then I put another $2 million into another deal of his. I got $4 million tied up in his stuff. How much have I ever been paid by him? $0. A lot of these big educators are not actually that good. They teach and they sound like they're cool, okay? So this guy, he's an orthodontist and he's making $600,000 a year as an orthodontist. Okay, he's got 2 locations. And what he said is he goes, all right, I'm gonna sell my orthodontist practice, and the company that's buying the orthodontist practice from me wants me to stick around for 5 years to transition the patients to the new owners. Make sense? Because selling an orthodontist practice is really hard. Why? Because the customers know you. You have your fingers in their mouths, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but when you get somebody's fingers in your mouth, it's hard for you to switch out to a different person. So, you know, they have a loyalty and customer like awareness issue. So he goes, all right, I got a 5-year time frame. I'm gonna jump into multifamily. So 3 days a week for 5 years, he went out and replaced his $600,000 income with focusing on multifamily. He started finding deals, and he started working them, and he was bankable. He could get bank lines of credit because he had, you know, a business. And so if you're that person, then skip single family. But that's not 99% of people. So when people go, oh, you should skip multifamily, I see Grant Cardone say it all the time. And I love Grant, and he's right about that guy. That one orthodontist should skip single family. So do we have a lot of people in SubTo that join to learn creative finance and skip single family and go directly into land development? Yes. But the overwhelming majority of people should do their first couple of deals. Like 98% of people should just do first couple of deals in single family, get some money coming in, change the paradigm. Do you think a guy that went to orthodontist school, built a business, has 2 locations, hundreds of clients, needs to be taught how to talk to people, how to balance the books? No. So what you learn in single family is a college degree on how to be a business operator. That guy doesn't need that. It sets you up. No offense to you or me.
I'm not a dentist.
You're not a dentist, and neither was I. I didn't go to college. I didn't do all that stuff. I was a freaking blue collar guy swinging a hammer. Did I know how to do all that shit? Do I know how, and still do I even know how to balance books? I don't, but what I did learn in single family is how to hire the right people. Okay, I would have never done that. I would have been like, oh, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Start in single family. Every transaction, there's a new thing to learn. In fact, I stayed in single family too long because I'm like, I'm still learning. I stayed in single family too long. I should have been in single family for 36 months, not 7 years. But I'm grateful, regardless, right? I'm grateful that I'm in the position I'm in. So where people really have a hard time is they go, I'm stuck. No, you're not stuck. You, sadly, have been told what to do your whole life. And you have never had pace give you one. This is what I'm incredibly good at. So when we go speak on stage and you watch me speak on stage, I'll speak on stage and then I will go out in the audience and I will go give people one-on-ones, like 5-minute one-on-ones. I go, okay, cool. Who wants a one-on-one? And people raise their hand. I walk over to somebody and go, okay, great. You're an engineer. Mom and dad are still together. You probably have $500,000 in cash sitting in your bank account, and you think you should be wholesaling, but you really should be raising capital for multifamily. And people think I know them. I'm like, no, you are literally a walking freaking stereotype. Everybody is.
Yeah.
We all are. Okay? So I can go, I'm sure you do it too. You can suss people out. You go, oh, I know exactly what's going on. Your parents divorced at a young age, and you dress this way because you're trying to overcompensate. And you can see it, right? You have the emotional intelligence to see it. I tell people, hey, if you guys want me to give you a one-on-one, I'll meet you in the hallway. So then what happens is like half the audience comes into the hallway because guess what they really need? They need somebody looking them in the eyes and telling them, go do this exact thing.